Today's topic is Carnot cycle ending. So it is also a part of our thermodynamics. So this week and next week also thermodynamics chapter is there. It is not a new chapter. It is a new topic. It is a Carnot cycle based on work and heat. So this is the cyclic process. This is the cyclic process divided by Carnot cycle. So it is the cyclic process. So this explains the conversion of heat into work. And how much heat is converted into work? That is clearly explained on the basis of this Carnot cycle. So Carnot is the scientist who constructed this concept. So it is for a cyclic process. So cyclic reversible process. So how much heat is converted into work? So that is explained on the basis of this concept, Carnot cycle. Okay. So in this Carnot cycle, the theory is very simple. Most of the concepts are derivative patterning. So see here. Here, let us consider one mole of ideal gas in the system. So one mole of gas is taken, that should be ideal gas. So 1 mole of ideal gas is the process. Okay. So this Carnot cycle explains maximum conversion of, it explains maximum convertibility heat into work. So heat into work, how much heat energy is converted into work, how much maximum is possible, how much is the efficiency of the cycle, the process to convert that supplied heat into work. So how much heat is supplied, how much work is done, so how much is the efficiency of that engine. So all here we are discussing. Here we consider 1 mole ideal gas in the system. 1 mole ideal gas in the system. Okay. So next, so it contains frictionless piston system. It has frictionless piston. So the system contains frictionless piston. Okay, it is subjected to a series of operations. I will explain, please wait. Series of operations. So one after one, another number of series of operations are there. So number of series of operations, successive operations are there. So here we consider two temperatures. One is T2, another one is T1. T2 greater than T1, my dear boys, in this point. In this Carnot cycle, we consider two heat. One is at high temperature and one is at low temperature. T2 greater than T1. These are the conditions to explain this concept. T2 greater than T1. Here T2 is the hot reservoir or source of heat. So very high temperature is there. Next, T1 is the low reservoir, low temperature, which is called as sink. So sink temperature it is. So it is nothing but cold reservoir. Which is also called as cold reservoir. So these are the assumptions we take. So T2 is the high temperature, T1 is the low temperature. So a system is considered, see here, This is the system with frictionless piston. 1 mole ideal gas is taken. 1 mole ideal gas is taken. So to this 1 mole ideal gas, so from high temperature, that is at T2 only. T2, something Q amount of heat is supplied. Something Q amount of heat is supplied. That will be Q2. Q2 is the heat supplied to the system. Okay. Frictionless piston means so easy to free to move and free to move. So not no upward force and no backward repulsive forces. So free to move. So T2, it is from high temperature. From high temperature, something heat is supplied to the system. So it is the system. System does some work. So something work is done. But a few amount of heat is so passing to the sink end, which is at T2, it is at low temperature. So that is the Q1, something is passed into the system end. So let us say 10 joules of heat is supplied, 9 joules is converted into work, remaining 1 is coming to the low temperature situation, that is something heat is lost. This is our cycle. So in this system, because of absorption of this heat, number of series of operations are there. Those are explained on the basis of this Carnot cycle. So we will discuss the Carnot cycle with the help of this system. And it is a reversible process. A number of series of operations were taken there. So see here, what happened here. So let us consider system at a starting point at a temperature P and a volume at a pressure V. So see here. It is the pressure axis. Here volume axis. Pressure volume work we are considering here. Okay. So now the system at the initial position is A. Let A be the starting position of the system. So there pressure P1, volume V1. So this is P1, this is V1 and so pressure P1, volume V1 and okay. So now I applied isothermal work and system does some work. So and reaches a point B and reaches a point B. There pressure is P2, volume is V2. Pressure is P2, volume is V2. Along this line, so the temperature is fixed, which is T2 temperature. That is high temperature. So through this line, temperature is constant. Temperature is constant means that is isothermal process. So that means, so from here to here, something work is done through this line, that is isothermal. It is isothermal work. Some isothermal work is completed there. After that, second operation. So from B to C, the system moving like this. This is C point. So this is the direction, my dear boys. This is the direction. So B to C. So there, the parameters of P, pressure is P3, volume is V3. Pressure is P3, volume is V3. Okay. So next, so what is this? Here, Q is constant. Q is constant. That process that is called as isobaric process. It is isothermal process. Here Q is constant. Adiabatic process, not isothermal. That is adiabatic process. Adiabatic process. B to C is adiabatic. Their Q is constant. A to B is isothermal. Their temperature is constant. So I will explain once again after completion of explanation. Please wait. So first listen carefully. After C, my dear boys, here volume V1 to V2. V2 is higher than that of V1. And so volume is expanded. That means volume increase. Volume increase means expansion takes place. It is isothermal expansion. Next, at B, this is the volume. At C, this is the volume. Volume increase once again. So therefore, volume increase means expansion. This is adiabatic expansion. So B to C is adiabatic expansion. A to B is isothermal expansion. So A to B is isothermal expansion. Now system compressed. Another operation is there. That is compression. So there system moves like this. So this is point D. So this is the direction. So it is the initial volume, it is the final volume, volume decreased. So volume decreased means the compression. So through this line, temperature is T1. T1 is the lower temperature. Through this line, temperature is constant. So at C, temperature T1. At D, temperature T1. So temperature is constant. Once again, it is isothermal case. Isothermal. So but volume is decreased means it is a compression. Isothermal compression point. Okay. So now the system is at D position. Now once again compressed. So from here to here process is carried. So this is the direction. So here also it is the volume. It is the volume and a little volume decrease. Once again it is compression. Here also it is adiabatic. Adiabatic compression. So that parameters of D are P4, V4 and P4, V4. Temperature is T1. Here temperature is T1. Here temperature is T2. Here temperature is T2. So these are the series of operations applied in the system. So this is isothermal expansion. This is adiabatic expansion. This is isothermal compression. This is adiabatic compression. So like this, number of operations are there. Something work is done. I want to calculate how much is the work is done. So once again, I calculate how much heat is supplied, how much is work is done in the cyclic process. So the supplied heat is converted into work. So that means the efficiency of this engine is work reversible by, so how much heat is supplied, Q by T. So reversible work, how much work is done there, how much heat is supplied. So these two we are calculated. By using this, we should calculate how much is the efficiency, how much is supplied, how much work is done. So that is the efficiency of heat. That is heat engine. It is heat engine. So how much heat is converted into work? That is explained on the text for this one, which is equal to efficiency. Into 100 is nothing but percentage efficiency of heat engine. Now our aim is and our target is to convert how much is the total network, how much is the total work is done, how much is heat supplied to the system. By using this, we should calculate efficiency of heat engine. So now what are the operations here? A to B, isothermal expansion. B to C, adiabatic expansion. C to D. So C to D, eta symbol is eta, efficiency. So C to D, compression. So D to A is compression. So now what is the, that is work is how much, Q is how much. So how much Q total heat energy is supplied, how much work is extracted from that. So extracted work by total heat supplied, that ratio is called as so efficiency of heat engine. Okay. So now my target is to calculate net work, total work is done, how much is there. So how much heat is supplied, I am calculating any. So for that purpose, so number of operations systematically I am adding it, I am using it. See here, guys. So please listen carefully. So along A to B, what happened there? So first step, along A to B. A to B, temperature constant. That is why it is isothermal process, volume increased, it is expansion. Volume increase, expansion. So initial pressure P1 V1, final pressure P2 V2. So now the work done here is isothermal expansion work. Isothermal expansion. That is, expansion means work is done by the system. So let's W. Just a minute. This is work done along this process W1. So along this process W2, it is W3, W4. Now I'm going to calculate those W1, W2, W3, W4. So through that line, so we will calculate total network W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. That gives the total network. So our target is to calculate that how much is the work done there. Total network is. So therefore, see here. So it is a reversible expansion. It is the reversible expansion. Reversible expansion. For reversible expansion, so heat is supplied in it. So therefore, something heat energy is supplied. So through this, Q2 heat energy is supplied. Q1 heat energy is coming out. So Q2, that is, which is equal to work is done by the system minus W. Work is done by the system, which is minus W. So isothermal expansion work, we know for isothermal case, that is 2.303 nRT log V2 by V1. V2 is the final volume, initial volume V1. So nRT is, which is at T2 temperature. Okay, so this is 2.303 nRT2 log V2 by V1. So now I'm using only ln cases. So for that purpose, 2.303 is removed. So it is, I'm taking ln to the base era. So therefore, finally, we have ln nR T2. N means number of moles. Here we are considering only one mole. Therefore, so Q2 is equal to minus W is equal to RT2 ln V2 by V1. This is the first one, first equation. So to calculate work done along AB. Work done along AB, these formulas we are used in your previous topic. So work done irreversible in a reversible work. So work is done by the system, that's why it is negative. So that's why it is the answer. So it is along AB. Along AB. Here Q2. What is this Q2? Q2 is nothing but amount of heat supplied to the system. So amount of heat supplied to the system. Towards system is positive. So work is done by the system is W. So these are equal. This is the case. So it is along AB. Along AB. Next, just like this, along BC, along CD, along AD. So we are going to calculate it. It is first relation. It is first relation. Next, along BC. Second one. So along B to C, how much is the work done here? So B to C. B to C means it is adiabatic expansion. Adiabatic process. Adiabatic process means no heat is exchanged between system and surroundings. No heat is exchanged between system and surroundings. Once again, it is expansion, my dear boys. So expansion means, so no heat is supplied. That means already existed gas, internal energy is changed to work. Internal energy of the system, something energy, internal energy is used by the system to do that expansion work. That means here internal energy plays important role because no heat is supplied, because it is adiabatic process. Because it is adiabatic process, so already existed internal energy, some of the internal energy changes to work. Therefore, here internal energy is used. So therefore, along BC, It is adiabatic reversible expansion. Adiabatic reversible expansion. It is adiabatic reversible expansion. So next, here no heat is absorbed. No heat is absorbed, and hence the work is done. The work is done. That is, work done is W2. Work is done by the system. By the system at the expense of internal energy. At the expense of internal. Here internal energy, some of the internal energy is converted into work. Therefore, so here work done is equal to change in internal energy. Here work done is equal to change in internal energy. That is delta E, which is equal to minus done by the system W2, which is equal to, so minus CV, adiabatic process T2 minus T1. And so final temperature T1, initial temperature T2, T2 minus T1. So it is work done along BC case. Work done along BC case. It is equation 2 along BC. Okay. So next one. Along CD. Third case. Along C2D. How much is the work? So C2D means it is a compression. It is compression. Once again, temperature is not changed. It is isothermal compression. So isothermal compression work is there. The heat is Q1 and Q1 is equal to, it is isothermal reversible compression. So therefore, so heat is lost really. Heat is lost. There is a minus Q1, which is equal to W3, which is equal to, so temperature T1 or T1 ln final volume V2, V4, initial volume V3. So V4 by V3. V4 by V3. It is the work done along CD. It is the work done along CD. So this is 3. This is 3. Next, I am doing there, fourth step. So see here. Along D2A. Along D2A, it is adiabatic compression. Adiabatic compression. So temperature T1 to T2 ani adiabatic case. So here also we are changing W2, W4 ani, which is equal to CV. Compression positive ani CV. So temperature. So final temperature T2, initial temperature T1 ani. So it is W4 ani, which is fourth equation. These are the different temperature, different work side. So here Q1, Q2 is applied, Q2 is the supplied energy, Q1 is the lost energy. So total heat is equal to this one minus this one end. So total energy gained by our system end. So Q2 energy is supplied, Q1 energy is released. So total system gained energy is Q2 minus Q1. So later we will calculate. So these are W1, it is W1. So W2, W3, W4, all these are there. So now total net work is how much and net heat is how much. So ratio of those two, we will get efficiency of the heat engine. Ratio of these two. Okay. So please keep in mind these values. Net work, before going to that, So how much heat is supplied and how much work is done here? See, my dear boys. I'm rubbing, cleaning these two only because those values are required, those relations. See here. So the net heat absorbed, I'm calculating net heat absorbed. Net heat absorbed, that is Q is equal to, how much is supplied? Q2 energy is supplied. Q2. How much is lost? Q1. So that is minus Q1 and just I am taking total heat means Q2 minus Q1 and minus Q. It is the heat absorbed. Therefore, Q is equal to Q2. So how much is the Q2? This is Q2 only. RT2 ln V2 by V1 minus Q1. This one RT1 ln V4 by V3. It is heat absorbed by the system. Heat absorbed by the system. So RT2 ln V2 by V1, RT1 ln V4 by V3. So this is absorbed system. This is the heat absorbed energy. Heat absorbed. We know for adiabatic cases, so T V power gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. It is we know T V power gamma minus 1 is constant. So therefore, T1 V1 power gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 V2 power gamma minus 1. T1 V1 power gamma minus 1. Here V1 is the V3. V1 is the V3. See, my dear boy. So initial volume. So here T1 by T2 is equal to V2 by V1 whole power gamma minus 1. V2 by V1. But here V2 is V3, V1 is this much. For adiabatic process. For adiabatic. So that is equal to V3 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. So T1 by T2 is equal to V3 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. Okay. So therefore, next one. So I am cleaning this. Just derivation. Next, adiabatic expansion. Right? For adiabatic compression. For adiabatic compression. Similarly, that is T1 by T2 is equal to V1 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. So from this T1 by T2 is equal to V3 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. From this T1 by T2 is equal to V1 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. So by taking this one and this one, so we have a conclusion. Therefore, from 1 and 2, we have V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. So V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. So V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. V3 by V4. So I am taking, see here. So this is readjusted here. See, my dear boys. So this is reconstructed. board is not sufficient and to solve this experiment, this derivation. So V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. So this is, I'm rewriting, Q is equal to RT2 ln V2 by V1. So readjusted plus RT1 V3 by V4 and V3 by V4 readjusted. But V3 by V4 is equal to V2 by V1 and so that means this is now replaced with V2 by V1. Therefore, so both are same. That is equal to R ln V2 by V1 common any. So R ln V2 by V1 into T2 minus T1. It is the total heat engine. So through this process, Cura. So it is the total heat engine. That is R ln V2 by V1 T2 minus T1. So these are our adiabatic relations, my dear boys. We are adjusting these points. Okay, this is Q and this is Q. But supplied heat is equal to work is done and Q is equal to W and same is also applicable for W and same is also applicable for W and so see here, it is Q. Now I am calculating net work. How much is the work done here? So net work. That is W is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4, which is equal to. So finally, we will get the same value any. So W net is equal to R T2 minus T1 after applying some all these values ln V2 by V1. Since Q is equal to net work done. Q is equal to net work done. Now we are going to calculate how much is the efficiency of heat engine. How much is the efficiency of heat engine? So therefore, this is W. Actually, how much heat is supplied? That is the Q2 heat energy is supplied. So Q2 heat energy is supplied. So we know from the relation Q2 is equal to RT2 ln V2 by V1. It is first relation, my dear boys. It is Q2. Now, efficiency of Carnot engine is equal to efficiency Carnot cycle is equal to so W by Q. That is reversible work by supplied heat energy. Work reversible by Q2. So work reversible, which is efficiency eta, that is equal to work reversible. How much net work and this much and that is eta is equal to this is the work R T2 minus T1 ln V2 by V1 by Q2. This is Q2 only. That is R T2 ln V2 by V1 R T2 ln V2 by V1. So finally we will get RR gets cancelled, ln V2 by V1 this is cancelled. So finally efficiency of heat engine eta is equal to, therefore eta is equal to T2 minus T1 by T2. That is 1 minus T1 by T2. So this is the efficiency of heat engine. So finally you should remember the efficiency of heat engine is equal to T2 minus T1 by T2. So this is the final formula. What is this T2? It is the hot reservoir, high temperature. So it is the cold reservoir that is in sync. So by total heat supplied. So we know T1, T2, T values. So finally we should calculate efficiency of heat engine just by using the formula So eta is equal to T2 minus T1 by T2. T2 minus T1 by T2. And so this is the efficiency of heat engine. Efficiency of heat. You should mind it. Only Q2 means Q2 is supplied energy. So how much energy is supplied? How much is work done? So that is work done by supplied heat energy. That is efficiency. That is why I am using only Q2 case. That is why I am using only Q2. So this is the way to calculate work end. Okay. So that is, see my dear boys. So very, very important. Finally, the formula is efficiency of heat engine eta is equal to T2 minus T1 by T2. T2 minus T1 by T2. That is work reversible by Q2. Supplied heat energy. So eta is equal to, this is also one formula. So eta is equal to work reversible by supplied heat. Q2 is the supplied heat energy. Okay. So, see my dear boys, we are taking, so we are, just a minute. So see my dear boys, this is the engine. This is the engine. I applied some heat energy to this. For example, a fan is there. A fan is there. Something electrical energy is supplied. Some energy is supplied. Because of the some energy application, automatically the fan works something. But due to frictions and something else, some heat also produced. But it is a frictionless thing. That means total heat supplied is converted into work done. Actually, we expected 100%. So total heat supplied is equal to total work. We expected 100%, but some heat is lost by the system because of friction and something else. How much is the efficiency? So supplied is something Q, done work is W. So that W by supplied heat energy is equal to efficiency into 100 is equal to percentage efficiency. Into 100 is equal to percentage efficiency. So it is percentage efficiency or efficiency of heat engine. So finally we get the formula, that is eta is equal to T2 minus T1 by T2 is equal to 1 by T1 minus T2, T1 by T2 and 1 by T1 by T2. So very, very important, my dear boys, efficiency of heat engine. Efficiency of heat engine. Okay. Next, what are the conditions here? What are those operations? In Carnot cycle, first is isothermal expansion, second is adiabatic expansion, third one is isothermal compression, fourth one is adiabatic compression. All these are successive operations. Through these successive operations, so starting and ending points are same. So something, it is a cyclic process, something heat is done, so by applying some heat energy. So that is explained with the help of efficiency of heat engine. Efficiency of heat engine. Yes, we should use only supplied energy. How much is supplied to you? How much is work is done? So that is in the form of temperatures, we should calculate it. Okay. So see, note points there. Note point, if T2 minus T1 is large, there is a large distance difference. That means, for example, 100 kilojoules of energy is supplied. Just 1 kilojoule of energy is coming out. That means, what about that remaining 99 converts into work? That means the efficiency of that heat engine is very, very high, 99%. Remaining is coming out. Remaining. That means the difference of these temperatures is very, very high. Automatically, that is highly efficient engine. So that is highly efficient. Okay. So is very large. Then more heat is converted into work done. more heat is converted into work by the heat engine. By the heat engine. It is very, very important. So T2, T1 difference is large, automatically efficiency should be higher. Okay. Generally, the efficiency is under 40% is general case. Efficiency of heat engines, so now user heat engines are 40% cases. 40% cases. It is very, very important. Next, Q2 is at a T2 condition, by Q1 is at a T1 condition. So therefore, so these two should be same, 1 minus also same. So therefore, so Q1 minus Q2 by Q1 is equal to T1 minus T2 by T1. T1, that implies Q by T is equal to constant. Q by T is equal to constant. So this is another form of our Carnot cycle, and Q by T is equal to constant. So another, so which is nothing but Q reversible by T. Later this is called as change in entropy. Tomorrow's topic is change in entropy, that is Q reversible by T. That is Q reversible by T, that is the change in entropy. Tomorrow we will discuss about that entropy. So that is like this. That is like this. Okay. So Q by T is equal to constant. Q by T is always equal to constant. That constant value is equal to change in entropy. So from tomorrow onwards, the most important topic, entropy, we will discuss. See, based on this formula, some problems. So a few problems, only 2 problems let me. Calculate the maximum efficiency of an engine operating between 100 degrees centigrade and 25 degrees centigrade. So this is the question. So tell me the answer. So efficiency of heat engine. So efficiency of heat engine. What is the formula here? Wrong ending. So the efficiency is eta is equal to 1 minus T1 by T2. That is equal to 1 minus, here capital T's are used. Capital T means absolute scale you should use it. Absolute scale. 100 degrees centigrade means 100 plus 273. 373 Kelvin. Here 25 degrees means 25 plus 273. That is 298 Kelvin. Use absolute scale temperatures only. Use absolute scale temperatures only. That is equal to T1. That is low temperature. So that is 298 by 373. So 373 minus 298 by 373. How much is the value? Here the most important condition there. Whenever temperatures are in degrees centigrade, convert that values into absolute scale by adding 273. Only we should use absolute scale temperatures. So that is equal to 0.2. That implies 20%. Into 100 is the percentage, so it is just a fraction. So that is 20%, and efficiency of heat engine is 20%. Next one. heat supplied to the Carnot cycle a Carnot cycle is 453.6 kilocalories and how much useful work can be done by the engine which works between 10 degrees centigrade and 100 degrees centigrade. Which works between 10 degrees centigrade and 100 degrees centigrade. Always you should use kilojoules. That is work, useful work. I am calculating kilojoules and useful work in kilojoules. How much is it? How much it is? Yes, Siddharth, correct? Don't use your logarithm, that is the calculator. So solve on your own hand. Don't use your calculator. Here, supplied heat energy is how much? 453. Therefore, Q is equal to 453.6 kilocalories. That is equal to 453.6 into 4.18 into kilojoules. The value is converted into kilojoules. So the value is how much? I calculated this 1897.86 kilojoules. This is in kilojoules. Now we know W by Q is equal to T2 minus T1 by T2. So we want to calculate W. Therefore, W is equal to Q into T2 minus T1 by T2. So that is equal to, that implies W is equal to Q this much 1897.86 into T2. 100 degrees centigrade means 373 Kelvin. It is 298 Kelvin, 273 addition. Therefore, 373 minus 298 by 373, which is equal to. Tell me now answer. $457.92. Kilojoules of heat energy is supplied. 457.92 kilojoules of energy is something. That much work is done. That much work is done. So that is 1 kilocalorie is equal, 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. That is the relation. Degree centigrade you should use, convert into absolute scale. So always high temperature is T2, low temperature is T1. Always high temperature is T2, low temperature is T1. Who is that? What is that, Manish? Okay. 273, 283. Yes, correct. 283. Thank you. 283. Okay, this is the way to solve the problem. So W by Q is equal to efficiency, or efficiency equal to T2 minus T1 by T2. So these are the different model problems we are going to discuss. So very important problems. So some more model problems I will send to you in the worksheet. So please solve by using this formula. Now the next topic is Clausius inequality. Clausius inequality. And Clausius inequality. Thereby, all this data, whatever I told up to now, will also explain in your physics and in your physics. Everything revision is there in everything revision is there in your physics. So if you learn here clearly, automatically it will be easy in your physics also. Okay. Clausius inequality then. What is this Clausius inequality? See here, that is, the concept is applicable only for cyclic processes. Only for cyclic processes. Not applicable for other cases. Only applicable for cyclic process. That is the Clausius explained the concept, inequality concept. So what it is? So that is integral for cyclic process. Cyclic, the symbol for this one is cyclic. So total cyclic integral is equal to integral of dq by dt. That is already derived in efficiency cases and is less than or equal to 0. So less than or equal to 0. So when it is less than or equal to 0 or when it is equal to 0, that is cyclic integration. So for a reversible process, that is the cyclic integration of dq by t is equal to 0. It is for reversible process. If it is an irreversible process, for an irreversible process, that is integral, cyclic integral, dq by t is less than 0. It is for irreversible process. That means, so the total heat change, the efficiency, and simply we are taking the efficiency of heat engine for reversible and irreversible processes are not same. The efficiency of reversible heat engine and with that of irreversible heat engine, both are not same. That is inequality. That is explained by Clausius. So see here, how is this possible? How is this possible? Let us take a reversible heat engine and an irreversible heat engine. Let us take applicable for Carnot cycle. Applicable for Carnot cycle. See my dear boys. This is the source temperature. That is the T high temperature. That is the T high. This is low temperature, T low, let it be. T high temperature, T low temperature. So there are two engines operating between these two temperatures, fixed temperatures. That this is the first engine. It is a reversible engine. Another engine which is irreversible engine. There are two engines operating cyclic process. One is reversible case, another one is irreversible case. These two are operating between two common temperatures. And high temperature, low temperature. These two should be same. These two should be same. Here, let something heat is supplied to the reversible side is Q reversible. That is let it be QH and QH, and for this one is Q irreversible. So here also let us take capital Q. QH, QH. That means both these are operating with the same high temperature. Here the supplied heat energy is equal to supplied heat energy. Both these values are same. Both these values, the supplied heat energies for reversible engine and irreversible engine, both are same. Both are same. High temperature. So for this, something heat energy is supplied. For this also something heat energy is supplied. Both these supplied heat energies are same. But for it is reversible. So work is maximum. So it is irreversible. Something less work done is there. So the work done for this process is W reversible. The work done for this process W irreversible. W irreversible. So that is irreversible case. It is reversible case. So after taking some heat energy, so something work is done and remaining heat is supplied to the low temperature cases. So it is QL. So supplied, that is the heat supplied to the low temperature setting. Heat supplied to the low temperature setting. Next, here also heat supplied to the low temperatures, which is also QL. QL. So once again, my dear boys, is my voice clear? Is my voice clear? Audible to you or not? Please respond. Please respond. Am I audible to you? Okay. Is the board is clear? Board is clear? Okay. Thank you. See here. Listen carefully. First of all, listen carefully. There are two engines. These two engines connected to source, something heat energy. In the form of heat, we are supplying some energy. So these two are connected to a common source. Common source means the heat supplied to this engine is equal to heat supplied to this engine. Therefore, here QH and QH are the heat supplied energy. So these two values should be same, my dear boys. This one and this one are same energy. Same heat is supplied, my dear boys. Same heat is supplied. But one for reversible case, another one for irreversible case. One for reversible case, another one irreversible case. So let us take, for example, as per calculation, 100 kilojoules of heat is supplied here. Here also 100 kilojoules of heat is supplied. Both 100 kilojoules are taken by these two engines. Because it is reversible, maximum heat is converted into work end. That means among this 100 kilojoules of energy, nearly 70 kilojoules of energy is utilized to convert this work. The remaining 30 is into the sink. The remaining 30 is into the sink. But that is irreversible case, my dear boys. That is irreversible case. That irreversible, among this 100, so only 40 is doing work. 40 is doing work because work reversible is greater than the work irreversible. That is 40 is only doing that. The remaining 60 is coming out. The remaining 60 is coming out. Now this 60 is nothing but, so this one plus the difference value, and that is delta E, and that is 30 plus 30. 30 plus 30. That means, so this is taken as QL1, it is QL2. So here QL2 is equal to QL1 plus the difference of energy side. The difference of energy side. Is this point catch? Is this point clear, my dear boys? Is this point clear or not? Tell me. Both gives 100 kilojoules of energy. Here nearly 70 kilojoules of energy is used because it is reversible. So listen once again carefully. 30 kilojoules is coming out. 30 is coming out. Here 100 is supplied because both are same from same source. 100 is supplied. 100 is supplied. Only 40 is converted into work. The remaining 30, let us take not 40. So for our convenience, without any hesitation, so 45 is coming out. 45 is something work is done. Remaining 55. This remaining 55 is coming out. So this 55 is nothing but 30 plus 25. And 55 is nothing but 30. What is this 30? This is heat energy. So that means from here the released energy and here is something heat energy release. This released heat energy should be higher than that of this one. How much is higher? So that is the delta Q. Delta Q value is higher. So now, did you catch my point? Now, did you catch my point? Okay. So it is very, very important. From this, so efficiency reversible should be greater than efficiency irreversible, and should be greater than. It is possible. See, my dear boys, it is possible. Only these two engines from same common source. These two engines operating from the same common source. So supplied heat energies are same, but released heat energies are not same. But released heat energies are not same. See, I am calculating some derivations here. For a reversible process, we know cyclic reversible dq by t, that is heat supplied, is equal to, so supplied heat is dqh by t end, that is the th. So that is observed case. So minus, this is loss end, minus dq L1 by TL1. This is the case. So here dqh, these two are values are saved. Here qh by th minus dqL1 by TL1 is equal to same end, because it is reversible end. The difference value, because it is highly ended. Therefore, QH by TH is equal to dQH just a minute, QH, it is a QL. So QL by TL. It is for reversible case. It is for reversible case, therefore the value becomes 0. So for a reversible case, so integral, reversible integral dq by t is equal to 0. It is for a reversible case. It is for a reversible case. For an irreversible case, so dqL2, QL2 is equal to QL1 plus difference value, Q difference value. This is n. QL2 is equal to QL1 plus difference value. So integrate on both sides. So cyclic integration, it is for irreversible. So dq by t is equal to this function, that is integral dqh by dth minus integral dqL2 by TL2, which is equal to our final calculation. It should be less than 0. So no need to derive. So dq by dt less than 0, and it is for irreversible case. It is irreversible case. So finally, we are concluded that but derivations no need, by the boys. So only the central idea you should identify. So finally, according to Laplace's inequality, so integral, cyclic integral dq by t is equal to 0 for reversible process. and cyclic integral d cube by t is less than 0 for irreversible process. No heat engine has, as I is cyclic integral d cube by t greater than 0. It is not exist for any heat engine. It is not exist. No need of derivations. You should mind these two values. You should mind these two values. Just for our case, only I am trying to derive, but no need of derivation. Only you should mind. So for a reversible case, so dq by dt is equal to 0. For an irreversible case, so is less than 0. That means these two values are not equal for reversible and irreversible case, which is called as inequality. Which is called as inequality. So by using these, we should take some extra derivations towards that entropy cases. So later, tomorrow we will discuss entropy. So up to now, so this is the end of today's class.